Renaissance Fairs. Ever heard of them? Ren fairs are basically just historical reenactments of English villages, where you can find yourself lost amongst actors, in crowded marketplaces, or even eat massive turkey legs, all while drinking the day away with other adventurers in a tavern, and maybe even a dragon! Wait. Yeah, I found myself in one of those. On my bachelor party, to be exact. Where my adventuring party was officially lost in the Ren Fair. So we started to wander and stumbled by a shop that sells drinking horns. And to our surprise, a man ventures out from the back with a confused look.
Oi, you lot don't look familiar around here.
We could look.
I wasn't done talking yet, sweetheart. I bet y'all looking for a quest, aren't you?
Oh, hell yeah. How did this guy know this was on my secret bucket list of things to do while I'm here?
Hold your horses, sweetheart. You gotta prove yourself first.
He reaches up to grab one of the bigger horns, and it turns out it's actually a war horn, and proceeds to blow it, making an awesome noise, in which I thought was a noise you could only hear in like fantasy battle movies. But then he hands it over to me.
Make a sound like that, and I'll accept you on my quest.
So would you believe that being a band kid growing up, for once, actually helped me? Don't hate me, I'm just being honest. But when I saw how the whole entire horn worked, the trumpet gods were there to aid me. So one deep breath later...
Oh, we got a prodigy over here. All right, fetch me a drink from the tavern north of here, and I'll show you your next step.
Not the quest I imagined, but hey, the spirit of adventure took over as I immediately ran from the party in the direction he pointed. But at least we found the tavern.
Yes, excuse me, miss. I was sent on a quest for your finest ale.
Oh, a quest, I see. And she just points to an alcoholic beverage menu behind her. So I just chose a beverage and awkwardly handed the money over and started running back with one of my party members because the other two had to go on a side quest. That side quest being trying to get an ATM to work properly, which checks out because supposedly we're in the year 1585 and I'm pretty sure those don't exist yet. So after trekking all the way back, the man jumps down with one of the horns, looks us both dead in the eyes.
Get on your knee!
Man, it's not even 11 yet. We both looked at each other confused, but I got down on one knee and he immediately shoves his horn into my mouth, sending the whole drink down without any warning. Be in mind, I've never funneled a beer before, so it looked kind of like this. Until I somehow channeled my inner warrior and held down the rest by chugging it. After inhaling 80% air with my drink, we stood up for our reward. That reward being a solid pat on the back with him telling us to enjoy the rest of our day. And how many people can say they chugged out of a war horn at 10 a.m.? But at least give me a sticker, man. So minutes later, our party regrouped and we decided to search for food. And we got the luxury of hiking all the way back to the tavern to find a massive turkey leg stand. But let me tell you about these bad boys. They were thick. And so were the $19 of bucket list completed. But hey, what do you expect from Medieval Disney World, baby? And within minutes, I scarfed the whole thing down, honestly creeping out the whole entire adventuring party. As we roamed through the crowded market area, looking for a blacksmith, because how can you not look at swords when you're here? That should literally be a crime. Shortly after, we found one, but the shop was surprisingly not crowded, as one of the smiths walked over to us. Oh, travelers, what can I do for you today? Tell me about your swords. Well, what do you want to know? Everything. In my head, I was convinced I threw the greatest persuasion roll in D&D history. But in reality, he probably just thought I was a drunk, babbling yapper. But he looks around and leans in. Is that your party?
It is.
Well, come on, quickly. He then ushers us behind the counter, where we would stand there in silence, waiting for what's to happen next. Shortly after, he returns with a sword in his hands. And this is where I think we're about to be the public execution at 2:45. You ever swing a sword? No. So boys being boys, we spent the next 20 minutes swinging swords. And out of all the swords we tried, he brought out something that just felt right. A claymore. And the power I felt with this in my hands is something I did not know I needed until I didn't end up buying it because I'm poor, but mark my words, next year I'll have the money, my beloved claymore, you will be mine. So after escaping the crowd market, we ran into a bunch of mini games to test our wares. And the first one up was throwing axes. Now I've thrown axes before, but the distance was so short it felt really awkward. So we'll just move on to throwing stars, where the lady working the stand convinced a grown man-child to throw dangerous objects.
Do better than I did. I'm having performance issues. You men can relate? All right, go for it.
So I'm hoping nobody behind there doesn't just so happen to have a knight's helmet on because sorry? And the lady even felt bad for me.
Screaming house. Who do you hate? Yell their name. Who do you hate?
I don't even know.
Who do you hate?
And now we're just screaming loudly at each other.
Woo!
I literally became the dragon slayer of demon stars. Until she said, "You can buy my love by buying more stars." Nope, that involves money. Looks like projectiles aren't my thing, boys. But to make matters even worse, I also couldn't get it up,
You men can relate?
as I was so close to ringing the goddamn bell on the hammer swing. And it turns out it's not a power thing, it's actually an accuracy thing, which meant even if I got it up, yeah, let's just move on to throwing tomatoes at the town fool. Now, a lot of people probably wouldn't understand, but if I lived in this time period, this right here would be what I low-key lived for, aside from fighting dangerous monsters and eating them. So we thought it'd be fun to throw at the same time and let it rip.
Perfect. That was just the same amount of carol.
Yeah, it didn't end up working well for me, but my buddy at least hit him once. The secret, he said, was to squish the tomato a bit because they were sliced in a way that would cause you to throw sliders like in baseball. So feeling defeated, I really had to empty the tank. But in the bathroom, things got really weird. While experiencing inner peace, a man walks by me.
This one urinates like a horse. Good on ye.
Huh? This was the win that I did not expect nor wanted, but he also patted me on my shoulder, which, why? Like I was contemplating whether he was trying to take a peek, or was he generally impressed that I had a concealed fire hose? Either way, I washed my hands super fast and got back to my party. Although I couldn't help feel that something was off, like I was missing something entirely on my bucket list. Oh my god, that's right. I was missing medieval swag. So yet again, I wandered the crowded marketplace in hopes of finding a knight's helmet, because I always thought it'd be super cool to open my visor, take a drink, close said visor, and carry on. Listen, I'm a man of simple pleasures, okay? But they didn't have any knight's helmets, which sucks, okay? You know, whatever, fine. So on to my backup plan, a cloak. So my best bud and I got fitted for cloaks. I settled with a 3/4 cloak, so I could flex my cab. Now, I can finally say I was living the Ren Fair dream, baby! Except for me basically walking in a $150 sauna in 100% humidity and super hot weather. But no, this is not where the story ends. We got 7 dudes on a bachelor party, heading home to my place to finish the night strong. How, you may ask? By everyone wearing their Ren Fair swag they bought while having a cookout in my backyard and playing giant Uno. Honey, pack your bags, we're moving now. Overall, could I have asked for a better date? Probably not, because being lost in the Ren Fair with your group of friends is probably one of the most fun and exciting experiences I've had in a long time. Also, if you haven't gone, you should go too. It's not just a nerdy thing. Except for the fact that Claymore, when I have the money, my beloved, I'm coming back for you, baby.